So in the water, in the combined heat, in lane 2, we have Isabella Arellano. And in the boys' side, in lane 5, Gabriel Feldman. Lane 6, Ryan Lynn. Lane 7, Virgil von der Heide. Lane 8, Christian Beauchamp. Lane 9, Caleb Milak. And lane 10, Taha Awad. The next event in the water will be the 13-14-year-old girls. In Heat 1, Lane 3, we have Leah Hamer. Lane 4, Camille Young. Lane 5, Gabriella Beauchamp. Lane 6, Lane Langenbrunner. Lane 7, Karma Sood. And Lane 8, Amanda Delgado. Event 81, girls 13-14-year-old 200-meter butterfly. Heat 1. The results for event 79, girls 11 and 12, 200 meters butterfly are now posted on the board. And swimmers, you have 30 minutes to announce your intention to scratch. Up next we have Heat 2. Lining up in lane 3, Harper Klein. Lane 4, Olivia Breeden. Lane 5, Ryan Udagawa. Lane 6, Ava Whitley. And lane 7, Avalia Van Horn. Heat 2. Up on the board, you'll now see the results for event 80. The boys 11-12 200 meter butterfly. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Event 83, girls 200 meter butterfly, Heat 1. This is the first of 3 heats. Lining up for Heat 2. In lane 2, Zariah Van Hall. Lane 3, Charlotte Stevens. Lane 4, Peyton Brooks. Lane 5, Mary-Kate Kupski. Lane 6, Denise Paul. Lane 7, Lexi Henry. Lane 8, Maisie Mobley. And lane 9, Ansley Elderman. Up on the board is the results for event 82, the boys 13-14, 200 meter butterfly. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. In the water is the second of 3 heats. Getting ready for the next heat, heat 3. In lane 2, Lily Goff. Lane 3, Olivia Lewis. Lane 4, Chloe Wood. Lane 5, Olivia Perez. Lane 6, Elise Forteeth. Lane 7, Emma Pewitt. Lane 8, Hannah Pagels. And lane 9, Rivi Ralston. Heat 3. Next in the water will be the boys' open event. And in our first heat, in lane 1, we have Timothy Matthews. Lane 2, Joshua Koenigsberg. In lane 3, Josh Smith. Lane 4, Alexander Hahn. Lane 5, Ruby Kupski. Lane 6, Augustus Friedel. Lane 7, Alex Zenderby. Lane 8, Carter Corbett. Lane 9, Noah Khan. And lane 10, Nevin Naramore. Event 84, boys 200-meter butterfly, heat 1. Up on the scoreboard are now the results for event 83, the girls 200-meter butterfly. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Any parents of those swimmers who have made finals for this evening, please be willing to put your name down to time. We have a few spaces left that we need to fill. Next heat in the water will be heat 2. In lane 1, Jose Martinez. Lane 2, Alden Davis. Lane 3, Peyton Balciero. Lane 4, Julian Ether. Lane 5, Parker Stever. Lane 6, Hayden Schwartz. Lane 7, Ethan Kim. Lane 8, Chris Lazard. Lane 9, Jesse Kirk. Lane 10, Joseph Miller. Heat 2. In the water is the last heat of the butterfly event. Up next, we move on to 100-meter freestyle, starting with the girls 11 and 12-year-olds. In our first heat, in lane 1, Ella Ray Nelson. Lane 2, Amrin Reynolds. Lane 3, Adele Mathia. Lane 4, Milana Nazarenko. Lane 5, Jaya Hughes Turner. Lane 6, Hannah Barnes. Lane 7, Anna Shushard. Lane 8, Ada Liu. Lane 9, Kendall Beauregard. And lane 10, Anya Malakova. Event 85, girls 11-12, 100-meter freestyle, heat 1. Next in the water will be heat 2. In lane 1, Layla Moore. Lane 3, Addie Muller. Lane 4, Lexi Batone. Lane 5, Cassie Fuller. Lane 6, Isabella Arellano. Lane 7, Evelyn Harris. Lane 8, Anastasia Benzonuit. And lane 9, Gracie Brown. Heat 2. Up on the scoreboard, the results for event 84, the boys 200-meter butterfly, are now posted. Any swimmer who is intending to scratch, you've got 30 minutes to declare that intention. Next in the water is heat 3. Lane 1, Rebecca Lopez. Lane 2, Anna de Fabrique. Lane 3, Samantha Gardner. Lane 4, Madison Theodoso. Lane 5, Daisy Day. Lane 6, Gracie McDonald. Lane 7, Heidi Fram. Lane 8, Maya Powell. And lane 9, Maria Gracie Chacon. Heat 3. This is the last of the girls' heats. Up next are the boys' heats, boys 11 and 12. In heat 1, lane 1, Oliver Doty. Lane 2, Youssef Nagy. Lane 3, Victor Chizu. Lane 4, Virgil von der Heide. Lane 5, Augustine Cuneo. Lane 6, Brennan McCown. Lane 7, Christian Hoyne. Lane 8, Liam Gamsky-Hust. Lane 9, Colin Hanna. And lane 10, Adrian Barangelov. As a reminder, if you're not intending to be here on Sunday afternoon for finals, it is Sunday, we know people want to get home, please make sure you declare your intention to scratch. That way we can manage and make sure that anyone who is eligible to swim can be informed. Event 86, boys, 11-12, 100 meter freestyle, heat 1. Up on the board now, the results for event 85, the girls 11 and 12, 100 meter freestyle. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. And please, let's make sure that if you are heading home early and you do not intend to be here, come down and make sure that you are scratched. Up next will be heat 2. In lane 1, Ethan Smith. Lane 2, Enzo Rodriguez. Lane 3, Liam Gianella. Lane 4, Baptiste Albert. Lane 5, Charles Wolfe. Lane 6, Ryan Lynn. Lane 7, Gabriel Feldman. Lane 8, Colton Walsh. Lane 9, Max Ruiz. And lane 10, Oliver Naramore. Heat 2. Up next we have heat 3. In lane 1, Robert Ross. Lane 2, Reese Carla. Lane 3, Connor Cummings. Lane 4, Landon Beauregard. Lane 5, Wesley Hamer. Lane 6, Taha Awad. Lane 7, Ivan Loganoff. Lane 8, Carter Hoyne. Lane 9, Matthias Rodriguez. Heat 3. Next in the water is the fourth and final heat of the boys 11 and 12, 100 meters. Lining up in lane 4, Brogan Norton. Lane 5, Giovanni Mendez. Lane 6, Samuel Doty. Heat 4. Event 87, girls 13-14, 100-meter freestyle. Heat 1. With all swimmers in the fourth heat of the boys not showing up, we're straight on to the girls. In heat 1 of 6, in the water we have Isabella Claro in lane 1, Helen Dye in lane 2, Anya Berry in lane 3, Amelia Baklowski in lane 4, Fiona Blaho in lane 5, Shelby Malandruco in lane 6, Sophia Chabina in 7, Anika Traktueva in 8, Moira Keenan in 9, Avery Young in 10. Up next is heat 2. Lining up in lane 1, Juliana Alvarez. Lane 2, Karina McSorley. Lane 3, Ava Whitley. Lane 4, Ryan Udagawa. Lane 5, Sarah Fiamma. Lane 6, Angelina Parajon. Lane 7, Gabrielle Beauchamp. Lane 8, Shelby Smith. Lane 9, June Fram. And lane 10, Lauren Maziski. Heat 2. Up on the board are the results for event 86, the boys 11 and 12, 100-meter freestyle. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Next in the water will be heat 3 of 6 for the girls. In lane 1, Skylar Batten. Lane 2, Issa Fisher-Munoz. Lane 3, Olivia Breeden. Lane 4, Sienna Udzinski. Lane 5, Ashlyn Burton. Lane 6, Ainsley Palmer. Lane 7, Avalai Van Hall. Lane 8, Karma Sud. Lane 9, Ella Russell. And lane 10, Ember McAteer. Heat 3. With heat 3 in the water, be aware that we are running just a few minutes ahead. So keep an eye on where we are on the heat sheet so that you don't miss your race. Up next is heat 4 for the girls. In lane 1, Ali Harb. Lane 3, Amanda Collison. Lane 4, Olivia Brooks. Lane 5, Lera Valitova. Lane 6, Franny Sandora. Lane 7, Camille Young. Lane 8, Sophia Collett. Lane 9, Lyrica Gagua. Lane 10, Emily Z. Heat 4. Up next is Heat 5. In lane 1, Willow Jerkin. Lane 2, Karina Hurtado Rios. Lane 3, Riley Rosas. Lane 4, Ariana Boyett Martinez. Lane 5, Chantal Yildiz. Lane 6, Harper Klein. Lane 7, Zora Gansner. Lane 8, Seven Radicic Malhasso. Lane 9, Amanda Delgado. And lane 10, Eve Theodoso. Heat 5. Next up will be Heat 6, sixth and final heat for the girls 13-14s. Lining up in lane 2, Klein Vaughan. Lane 3, Toka Awad. Lane 4, Valerie Buscout. Lane 5, Sophia Barotto. Lane 6, Kai Surret. Lane 7, Shanna Shaw. Lane 8, Reagan Hears. Heat 6. With this being the last heat for the girls, we're now moving on to the 13-14-year-old boys. Lining up in Heat 1, in Lane 1, Wyatt Summersea. Lane 2, Trent Barisano. Lane 3, Josh Silvera. Lane 4, Jacob Lee. Lane 5, Toby Chen. Lane 6, Andrew McCann. Lane 7, Philip Tannis. Lane 8, Toivo Heppel. Lane 9, Tim Yildiz. And lane 10, Keola Kauai. Event 88, boys 13-14, 100-meter freestyle, heat 1. Next in the water for heat 2. In lane 1 we have Michael McSorley, lane 2 Matthew Van Matre, lane 3 Arthur Avidkan, lane 4 Benjamin Keong, lane 5 Tony Tang, lane 6 Ho Chun Yu, lane 7 Christian Lituski, lane 8 Ryan McCann, lane 9 Lucas Gianella, and lane 10 Ryan Bobkoff. Heat 2. Up on the board, you now have the results for event 87. The girls 13-14 100-meter freestyle are now posted. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Please, again, I can't ask enough. If you do not have the intention to come back for finals, then please make sure you come and scratch. Even if you're not in the top 20, make sure that we're aware you're not coming back. Next in the water is heat 3. Lane 1, Christopher Keown. Lane 2, Riley Liu. Lane 3, Cameron Stanley. Lane 4, Rachel Wee. Ruchin Wee. Lane 5, Jeremy Morgan. Lane 6, Anton Barangalov. Lane 7, Broderick Cuneo. Lane 8, Kesson Sweet. Lane 9, Zach Aschenbrenner. Heat 3. Next in the water is heat 4. In lane 1, Zach Atir. Lane 2, Luke Wheeler. Lane 3, Colton Papas. Lane 4, Evan Hightower. Lane 5, Tyler Hanna. Lane 6, Tyler Dans. Lane 7, Oliver Kosmowski. Lane 8, Benjamin Kirk. Lane 9, Ronan Rowe. Lane 10, David Madeira. Heat 4. Next is the 5th and final heat for the 13-14 boys. Lining up in lane 1, West Mouton. Lane 2, Samuel Zheng. Lane 3, Eli Fowler. Lane 4, Caden Reynolds. Lane 5, Matty Davis. Lane 6, Cal Berkeley. Lane 7, Sebastian Correa. Lane 8, Silas Montoya. Lane 9, Bobby D'Souza. Heat 5. The next event in the water will be the Girls Open 100-meter freestyle. In Heat 1, lining up behind Lane 1, Lauren Simon. In Lane 2, Leah Opdyke. Lane 3, Alex Stevens. Lane 4, Layla Busby. Lane 5, Lola Frey. Lane 6, Alejandra Ordonez. Lane 7, Denise Paul. Lane 8, Reese Denman. Lane 9, Hayley McArdle. And Lane 10, Juliette Brunzil. Event 89, Girls 100-meter freestyle, Heat 1. Next heat in the water will be Heat 2. In Lane 1, Nicole Shanks. Lane 2, Kate Roger. Lane 3, Kate Masters. Lane 4, Peyton Brooks. Lane 5, Hannah Parkin. Lane 6, Eva Whitehead. Lane 7, Carol Walters. Lane 8, Grace Panner. Lane 9, Ella Chen. And Lane 10, Lily Ruth Scott. Heat 2. Up on the board now, the results for event 88, the boys 13-14 100-meter freestyle. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intent to scratch, and please make sure you keep checking, and if you're not coming back this afternoon, please make sure that you come over and scratch. Next in the water will be Heat 3 of the girls. In Lane 1, Elise Brunzil. Lane 2, Peyton Burton. Lane 3, Annabelle Braun. Lane 4, Zoe Weiss. Lane 5, Anika Davis. Lane 6, Reagan Burton. Lane 7, Erica Opdyke. Lane 8, Cassidy Shanks. Lane 9, Elise Bethke. And lane 10, Layla Watson. Heat 3. Next in the water will be Heat 4. In lane 1, Morgan Gibson. Lane 2, Lexi Henry. Lane 3, Chloe Wood. Lane 4, Ansley Edelman. Lane 5, Alejandra Perez. Lane 6, Heidi Chen. Lane 7, Catherine Bazade. Lane 8, Ivy Strovich. Lane 9, Elise Forsyth. And lane 10, Fiamma Chioffi. Heat 4. Next up we have Heat 5 of 9 for the girls. In lane 1, Emma Casey. Lane 2, Marina Marchman. Lane 3, Kim Poma. Lane 4, Maisie Mobley. Lane 5, Maddie Dubois. Lane 6, Addison Quant. Lane 7, Tess Miota. Lane 8, Johanna Beauchamp. Lane 9, Ashley Palmer. And lane 10, Catherine Wolfe. Heat 5. Up next we have Heat 6. Lining up in lane 1, Mackenzie Cabello. Lane 2, Madeline Berry. Lane 3, Gabriela Paredes. Lane 4, Lily Dorney. Lane 5, Amelia Dubova. Lane 6, Olivia Lewis. Lane 7, Isla Harris. Lane 8, Anna Jane Lucius. Lane 9, Zariah Van Hall. And lane 10, Lila Shushard. Heat 6. Next in the water will be heat 7. In lane 1, Eden Ambrose. Lane 2, Tatlin Cheney. Lane 3, Albert Giacobassi. Lane 4, Jenna Becker. Lane 5, Hunter Motherway. Lane 6, Abigail Ham. Lane 7, Bridget Ballinger. Lane 8, Hayley Hofstetler. Lane 9, Caitlin Canfield. And lane 10, Ella Salada. Heat 7. Next up will be heat 8. In lane 1, Olivia Theodosu. Lane 2, Evelina Larson. Lane 3, Lucy McKenzie. Lane 4, Sheer Decker. Lane 5, Katie Schritz. Lane 6, Kathleen Rice. Lane 7, Molly Foy. Lane 8, Vivi Ralston. Lane 9, Riley Klaus. Heat 8. Up next we have the 9th and final heat for the girls. In lane 4, Chloe Wood. Lane 5, Alexa Fritz. And lane 6, Bella McDowell. Heat 9. With the last of the girls swimming right now. Up next we have the boys open 100 meter free. And getting ready for heat 1. In lane 1, Edris Johnson. Lane 2, Declan Foy. Lane 3, Alexander Han. Lane 4, Avi Stahl. Lane 5, Sabian Branch. Lane 6, Augustus Friedel. Lane 7, Alex Gonzalez. Lane 8, Gleb Basov. Lane 9, Daniel Benzino-Suic. Lane 10, Henry Turner. Event 90, boys 100 meter freestyle, heat 1. Next in the water we have heat 2. In lane 1, Zachary Foster. Lane 2, Arthur Romero Rebello. Lane 3, Kelly Franks. Lane 4, Aaron Coutureba. Lane 5, Trey Davis. Lane 6, Alden Davis. Lane 7, Ethan Kim. Lane 8, Aidan Martin. Lane 9, Joshua Koenigsberg. And lane 10, AJ Mugno. Heat 2. Up on the board are the results for event 89, the girls 100 meter freestyle. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intent to scratch. Next in the water is heat 3 of the boys. In lane 1, Adam Fishberg. Lane 2, Padraig Donnelly. Lane 3, Jackson Smud. Lane 4, Ethan Hoyne. Lane 5, Nikita Ambatas. Lane 6, Julian Ithia. Lane 7, Seth Hyde. Lane 8, Hayden Schwartz. Lane 9, Yuchen Wee. And lane 10, Luca Fiamma. Heat 3. Next up we have heat 4. In lane 1, Yusuf Alutaibi Pop. Lane 2, Jovan Johnson. Lane 3, Ryan Glatter-Gotts. Lane 4, John Shushard. Lane 5, Noah So. Lane 6, Carlos Frozzolono. Lane 7, Jaden Garcia. Lane 8, Santiago Lara. Lane 9, Noah Jones. And lane 10, Sydney Rakitic Melhasso. Heat 4. Next up is heat 5. In lane 1, George Lee. Lane 2, Aaron Nakax. Lane 3, Brendan Natlow. Lane 4, Colton Werner. Lane 5, Josiah Ward. Lane 6, Colby Hamel. Lane 7, William Savella. Lane 8, Timothy Matthews. Lane 9, Laith Canales. And lane 10, Matthew Dorney. Heat 5. Next in the water is heat 6 of 10, sorry. In lane 1, Liam Flanagan. Lane 2, Noah Khan. Lane 3, Yahya Saud. Lane 4, Zealand Block. Lane 5, Antonio Lewis. Lane 6, Dash Gansner. Lane 7, Isaac Rick. Lane 8, Ethan Siggin. Lane 9, AJ Bullock. And lane 10, Jacob Payne. Heat 6. Next in the water is heat 7. Lane 1, William McGorrick. Lane 2, Caleb Giagrenko. Lane 3, Kelso Acevedo. Lane 4, Danny Melnicki. Lane 5, Kaleo Kawai. Lane 6, Eric Diaz. Lane 7, Xander Maldin. Lane 8, Grant Wilton. Lane 9, Nevin Naramore. And lane 10, Jersey Kirk. Heat 7. Up next is heat 8. Lane 1, Jose Martinez. Lane 2, Corbin Hoyne. Lane 3, Josh Smith. Lane 4, Colby McNary. Lane 5, Luca Russell. Lane 6, Jimmy Higuera. Lane 7, Crawford Thompson. Lane 8, Finley Broderick. Lane 9, Obi Dexheimer. And lane 10, Joseph Miller. Heat 8. Next in the water will be heat 9. In lane 1, Brian Shaughnessy. Lane 2, Nofil Atir. Lane 3, Lucas Braganza. Lane 4, Alex Gagnon. Lane 5, Lucas Hanna. Lane 6, Parker Cooksey. Lane 7, Jake Parner. Lane 8, Wes Witchert. Lane 9, Marco Du. And lane 10, Oliver Smud. Heat 9. Next in the water will be the last heat of the boys. In lane 3, Peter Theodosu. Lane 4, Noah Kuriliscu. Lane 5, Nathan Bulk. Lane 7, Eric Van Matra. Heat 10. This is the 10th and final heat for the 100-meter freestyle for the boys. Next, we're moving on to the girls, 11 and 12, 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 1 for heat 1 will be Layla Moore. Lane 2, Maya Powell. Lane 3, Milana Nazarenko. Lane 4, Mackenzie James. Lane 5, Lindy Jarrell. Lane 6, Chaya Hughes Turner. Lane 7, Madison Theodosu. Lane 8, Daisy Day. Lane 9, Anastasia Benson-Osuik. Lane 10, Gracie Brown. Event 91, girls 11 and 12, 200-meter breaststroke, heat 1. This is the one and only heat for the girls 11 and 12s. Next up will be the boys 11 and 12, 200-meter breaststroke. Lining up for heat 1, in lane 2, Max Ruiz. Lane 3, Colin Hanna. Lane 4, Gabriel Feldman. Lane 5, Augustine Cuneo. Lane 6, Caleb Milak. Lane 7, Youssef Nagy. And lane 8, Connor Cummings. Please note that on the board, event 90, the boys 100 meters freestyle, the results are now posted. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Please come down and make sure that if you're not going to be coming back for finals, you do make that known. And if your child is in finals tonight, then parents, please consider signing up for timing. We do need a couple more volunteers for this evening session. Event 92, the boys 11-12, 200-meter breaststroke, heat 1. Lining up next will be heat 2. In lane 2, Colton Walsh. Lane 3, Victor Chizu. Lane 4, Landon Beauregard. Lane 5, Baptiste Albert. Lane 6, Christian Beauchamp. Lane 7, Adrian Barangeloff. And lane 8, Carter Hoyne. Heat 2. The heat in the water is the last heat for the boys 11 and 12. Next up will be the girls 13 and 14-year-olds. Getting ready for heat 1. In lane 1, Amanda Delgado. Lane 2, Ember McAteer. Lane 3, Eve Theodosu. Lane 4, Anya Berry. Lane 5, Shelby Malandruco. Lane 6, Lauren Mizeski. Lane 7, Helen Dye. Lane 8, Ryan Udagawa. In lane 9, Kaya Surrett. The results for event 91. The girls 11 and 12 200-meter breaststroke are now on the board. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Event 93, girls 13-14, 200-meter breaststroke, heat 1. The results for event 92, the boys 11-12 200-meter breaststroke are now on the board. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Please make sure that even if you don't intend to come back tonight, that you come and make that known. The next heat in the water, heat 2. In lane 2, Shanna Shaw. Lane 3, Karina McSorley. Lane 4, Chantal Yildiz. Lane 5, Sarah Fiamma. Lane 6, Skylar Batten. Lane 7, Ali Harb. Lane 8, Seven Radicic Mahasso. Lane 9, Toka Awad. Heat 2. Next heat in the water will be heat 3. Lining up in lane 2, Sophia Collette. Lane 3, Lera Valatova. Lane 4, Fiona Blaho. Lane 5, Maura Keenan. Lane 6, Isabella Claro. Lane 7, Hannah Moigor. Lane 8, Amanda Collison. Lane 9, Riley Rosas. Heat 3. In the water is the third and final heat for the girls 13-14-year-olds. Next up, we turn over to the boys in event 94. Getting ready for heat 1 in lane 2, Matty Davis. Lane 3, Zach Attir. Lane 4, Preston Hatcher. Lane 5, Tony Tang. Lane 6, Avelio Claro. Lane 7, Tyler Dans. Lane 8, Ryan Bobka. And lane 9, David Madeira. Event 94, boys 13-14, 200-meter breaststroke, heat 1. Next heat is heat 2. In lane 2, Cameron Stanley. Lane 3, Christian Leituski. Lane 4, Christopher Keown. Lane 5, Toby Chen. Lane 6, Tyler Hanna. Lane 7, Evan Hightower. Lane 8, Samuel Zhang. And lane 9, Benjamin Kirk. Heat 2. The results for event 93, the girls 13-14 200 meter breaststroke, are showing on the scoreboard. Please make sure that you use this next 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch if you are not hanging around for finals. And parents, we're still needing a couple more volunteers for this evening. So please go sign up at reception. Next in the water is the heat 3. In lane 2, Arthur Avicam. Lane 3, Zach Aschenbrenner. Lane 4, Lucas Gianella. Lane 5, Jeremy Morgan. Lane 6, Anton Barangalov. Lane 7, Wyatt Summersey. Lane 8, Eli Fowler. And lane 9, Ryan McCann. Heat 3. This is the third and final heat for the boys, 13, 14-year-olds. Next up is a girls' open event. Getting ready for heat 1. In lane 2, Kathleen Rice. Lane 3, Olivia Perez. Lane 4, Mackenzie Cabello. Lane 5, Eva Whitehead. Lane 6, Ella Chen. Lane 7, Alejandra Perez. Lane 8, Madeline Berry. And lane 9, Lila Shouchard. Event 95, girls 200-meter breaststroke, heat 1. Next in the water for heat 2. In lane 2, Alba Iacobazzi. Lane 3, Isla Harris. Lane 4, Emma Pewitt. Lane 5, Regan Burton. Lane 6, Morgan Gibson. Lane 7, Marina Marchman. Lane 8, Ella Salida. And lane 9, Ivy Fostrovich. Attention swimmers, event 94, the boys 13-14 200-meter breaststroke results are now posted on the board. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Again, please come down and check the scratch board to see if you may be swimming finals. Even if you think you were a few places away, other scratches may be bringing you into contention. And if you don't have the intention to stay for finals, then please make sure that we're aware. Heat 2. Next heat in the water will be Heat 3. In lane 2, Lily Goff. Lane 3, Tetlin Cheney. Lane 4, Milena Fix. Lane 5, Evie Milak. Lane 6, Kate Masters. Lane 7, Johanna Beauchamp. Lane 8, in lane 8, Kate Roger. In lane 9, Evelina Larson. In the water is the third and final heat for the girls 200 meter breaststroke. Up next will be the boys. Getting ready behind the blocks for heat 1. In lane 1, William McGawk. Lane 2, Brendan Natlow. Lane 3, Kelly Franks. Lane 4, Trey Davis. Lane 5, Ian Disasway. Lane 6, Xander Maldin. Lane 7, Zealand Block. Lane 8, Riley Pewitt. Lane 9, Edris Johnson. And lane 10, AJ Mugno. Event 96, boys, 200 meter breaststroke, heat 1. Next in the water will be heat 2. In lane 1, Jacob Payne. Lane 2, Arthur Romero Bello. Lane 3, Gleb Basov. Lane 4, Sydney Ratajczyk Mehato. Lane 5, Padraig Donnelly. Lane 6, Isaac Rick. Lane 7, Landon Bursa. Lane 8, Matthew Dorney. Lane 9, Santiago Lara. And lane 10, AJ Bullock. Heat 2. The next heat in the water will be heat 3 of 4. In lane 1, Henry Turner. Lane 2, Jovan Joseph. Lane 3, Grant Wilton. Lane 4, Lucas Hanna. Lane 5, Noah So. Lane 6, Chase Gluck. Lane 7, Peyton Balsero. Lane 8, Obi Dexheimer. Lane 9, Ethan Seguin. And lane 10, Dash Gazner. Heat 3. Next in the water is the fourth and final heat for the boys 200 breast. And it's the last heat for the breaststroke today, or this morning. Lining up in lane 2, Chris Lazard. Lane 3, Zachary Foster. Lane 4, Kaleo Kawai. Lane 5, John McGaw. Lane 6, Yusuf Alutaiba Pop. Lane 7, Wes Witcher. Lane 8, Nofel Atir. Lane 9, Crawford Thompson. Heat 4. With the heat in the water bringing to a close the breaststroke for this morning, the next event is going to be moving on to backstroke with the girls 11 and 12-year-old 200 meters. We have 2 heats, and in the first heat in lane 3, Hannah Barnes, lane 4, Lexi Batone, lane 5, Cassie Fuller, lane 6, Adi Muller, lane 7, Heidi Fram, lane 8, Grace McDonald. Event 97, girls 11-12, 200 meter backstroke, heat 1. So up on the board, we have just posted the results for event 96, the boys 200 meter breaststroke. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intent to scratch. Parents, if your swimmer is going to be swimming this evening, please consider timing. We have 6 open positions that we're going to need to fill to make sure that we can start on time. Remember, we do have food. We'll keep you fed and watered. We'll give you a nice yellow t-shirt. If you're available and you're willing to do so, please head down to reception. You can sign up there. And again, if you're definitely not going to be here, make sure your swimmer comes down and is scratching as required. Next heat in the water, heat 2. In lane 3, Evelyn Harris. Lane 4, Adele Mathia. Lane 5, Lindy Jarrell. Lane 6, Mackenzie James. Lane 7, Samantha Gardner. And lane 8, Jenny Simmons. Heat 2. In the water is the second of 2 heats. Next up, we have the boys 11, 12-year-olds with 1 heat. And in lane 1, Max Ruiz. Lane 2, Landon Beauregard. Lane 3, Liam Gianella. Lane 4, Virgil von der Heide. Lane 5, Charles Wolfe. Lane 6, Wesley Hamer. Lane 7, Ivan Loganoff. Lane 8, Reese Kaler. And lane 9, Christian Hoyne. Event 98, boys 11 and 12, 200-meter backstroke, heat 1. The results for event 97, the girls 11 and 12, 200-meter backstroke, are now posted on the scoreboard. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intent to scratch. Again, please make sure that if you are not intending to be here for finals, that you come down and make sure that you are scratched accordingly. This is the only heat for the boys 11 and 12s. Next up, we have the 13 and 14-year-old girls with 3 heats. The first heat, be getting ready in lane 1, Anika Traktueva. Lane 2, Franny Sandora. Lane 3, June Fram. Lane 4, Angelina Parajon. Lane 5, Lane Langenbrunner. Lane 6, Ainsley Palmer. Lane 7, Amelia Baklowski. Lane 8, Juliana Alvarez. Lane 9, Emily G. And lane 10, Sienna Udzinski. Event 99, girls 13-14, 200 meter backstroke, heat 1. Next in the water will be heat 2. In lane 1, Sophie Barotto. Lane 2, 7, Radicic Mahalso. Lane 3, Avery Young. Lane 4, Hannah McGork. Lane 5, Leah Hamer. Lane 6, Lauren Maziski. Lane 7, Skylar Patton. Lane 8, Ariana Boyet Martinez. And lane 9, Karina Hurtado Rios. Event 98, the boys 11 and 12, 200 meter backstroke. Results are posted on the scoreboard. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Heat 2. Up next, we have the third and final heat for the girls, 13 and 14-year-olds. In lane 1, Klein Vaughan. Lane 2, Zora Gansner. Lane 3, Avalia Van Hall. Lane 4, Moira Keenan. Lane 5, Isa Fisher Munoz. Lane 6, Sophia Chibina. Lane 7, Shelby Smith. Lane 8, Olivia Brooks. And lane 9, Camille Young. Swimmers, do make sure you come and look at the scratch board. There is a lot of yellow going on there for people going home early, thank you. But come and check to see if you're actually moving into contention for finals. And if you intend not to be here, then please let us know. No ifs, no buts, no coconuts. Heat 3. This is the last heat for the girls 13, 14-year-olds. Next in the water will be the boys. In heat 1 of 2, lane 1 we have Silas Montoya, lane 2 Cameron Stanley, lane 3 Nathan Moore, lane 4 Toivo Heppel, lane 5 Haoshen Wu, lane 6 Broderick Cuneo, lane 7 Zach Aschenbrenner, lane 8 Christopher Keown, and lane 9 Colton Papas. Event 100, boys 13-14, 200-meter backstroke, heat 1. Up on the scoreboard, the results for event 99, the girls 13-14 200-meter backstroke have just been posted. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Again, if you're not planning to be here for this evening's finals, please make sure you come and let us know. Parents, there are still a few places we need to fill for this evening's session for timing. If you're willing to volunteer for a couple of hours, it'd be greatly appreciated. You can go and sign up down in the reception. Up next, we have the second and final heat for the boys 13-14-year-olds. Lining up in lane 1, Andrew McCann. Lane 2, Casson Sweet. Lane 3, Oliver Kosmowski. Lane 4, Benjamin Keong. Lane 5, Ruchin Y. Lane 6, Preston Hatcher. Lane 7, Cal Berkeley. And lane 8, Tim Yildiz. Heat 2. Next in the water is going to be the girls' open event in 200 metre back. Getting ready for heat 1. In lane 1, Cassidy Shanks. Lane 2, Abigail Harm. Lane 3, Leah Opdyke. Lane 4, Zoe Weiss. Lane 5, Mary Kate Kupski. Lane 6, Annabelle Braun. Lane 7, Lily Ruth Scott. Lane 8, Shea Decker. Lane 9, Cara Walters. And lane 10, Caitlin Canfield. Event 101, girls 200 metre backstroke, heat 1. In the water is the first of 5 heats for the girls. Next in the water for heat 2, in lane 1, Maddie Dubois. Lane 2, Lauren Simon. Lane 3, Charlotte Stevens. Lane 4, Alejandra Ordonez. Lane 5, Peyton Brooks. Lane 6, Addison Quant. Lane 7, Fiamma Kioffi. Lane 8, Eden Ambrose. Lane 9, Grace Panner. And lane 10, Zariah Van Hall. Heat 2. As people are heading out for lunch, please make sure that if your swimmer is close to being in finals, get them to have a quick check to see where they are, as people are scratching. If you don't have any intention to be coming back later, then obviously please make sure it's known so that we can exclude them from the heat sheets for the finals. Up on the board we have event 100, the boys 13-14 200-meter backstroke results. Swimmers, you do have 30 minutes to announce your intention to scratch. Next in the water is Heat 3. In lane 1, Lily Dorney. Lane 2, Elise Fortieth. Lane 3, Amelia Dubova. Lane 4, Erica Opdyke. Lane 5, Catherine Bazade. Lane 6, Jenna Becker. Lane 7, Hannah Pagels. Lane 8, Lola Frey. Lane 9, Hayley Hufstetler. And lane 10, Juliet Brazil. Heat 3. We're on heat 3 of 5, sorry. Next up we have heat 4. In lane 1, Molly Foy. Lane 2, Katie Schuritz. Lane 3, Elise Brunzil. Lane 4, Kathleen Rice. Lane 5, Tess Miota. Lane 6, Lily Goff. Lane 7, Hunter Motherway. Lane 8, Kim Poma. Lane 9, Hayley McArdle. And lane 10, Stephanie Peterson. Heat 4. The next heat will be the 5th and final heat for the girls. Lining up behind lane 4, Chloe Woods, lane 5, Riley Klaus, and lane 6, Lucy McKenzie. Heat 5. So this is the last heat for the girls. Next up, we have the boys. Heat 1 of 5. In lane 1, Danny Melnicki. Lane 2, Colby Hamel. Lane 3, Yuchen Wai. Lane 4, Carter Corbett. Lane 5, Ruby Kupski. Lane 6, Seth Hyde. Lane 7, Declan Foy. Lane 8, Josiah Ward. Lane 9, Laith Canales. And lane 10, Noah Khan. Event 102, boys 200 meter backstroke, heat 1. The results for event 101, girls 200 meter backstroke, are posted on the scoreboard. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Again, any swimmers still around, please check the scratch board to see if you're getting close to be pulled into a final. And if you're not going to be here, then please make sure we are aware. Parents, again, if your swimmer is here this evening, please consider coming down and helping us with timing. Still a couple of spots we need to fill. We want to make sure we start on time so that we can all get home tonight. Next up is Heat 2. In lane 1, Ryan Glatter-Gox. Lane 2, Daniel Benznosowicz. Lane 3, Jacob Payne. Lane 4, Adam Fishberg. Lane 5, Aidan Levine. Lane 6, Augustus Friedel. Lane 7, George Lee. Lane 8, Aidan Martin. Lane 9, Noah So. And lane 10, Jersey Kirk. Heat 2. Up next, we're going to have Heat 3 of 5. In lane 1, Padraig Donnelly. Lane 2, Jackson Smug. Lane 3, Sydney Radicic Mahalso. Lane 4, Noah Jones. Lane 5, Alex Gonzalez. Lane 6, Nikita Ambertas. In lane 7, Hayden Schwartz. Lane 8, Colton Werner. Lane 9, John McGorrock. And lane 10, Nevin Naramore. Heat 3. Next in the water will be heat 4. In lane 1, Parker Cooksey. Lane 2, Nofa Latir. Lane 3, Brian Shaughnessy. Lane 4, William Sevilla. Lane 5, Liam Flanagan. Lane 6, Ethan Sigin. Lane 7, Josh Smith. Lane 8, John Shushard. Lane 9, Fidley Broderick. Lane 10, Youssef Alutaibi Pop. Heat 4. Next in the water will be our 5th and final heat. And it'll be the final heat of this morning's prelim session. Lining up in lane 1, Nathan Bolt. Lane 2, Marco Du. Lane 3, Crawford Thompson. Lane 4, Eric Diaz. Lane 5, Jake Barner. Lane 6, Timothy Matthews. Lane 7, Oliver Smud. Lane 8, Aaron Kutareba. Lane 9, Arthur Romero Rebello. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of our officials and our volunteers, especially our timers who have stood up and allowed this meet to be able to carry on time. For those of you who are leaving and not coming back for finals, have a safe journey home, and we hope to see you back here soon. Heat 5. This is the last heat for the morning session. Please make sure that you've been checking the scratch board to see if you're swimming this evening. And if you're going to be going home early, then make sure that we are aware and you are scratched accordingly. Parents whose kids are swimming in finals, again, please consider volunteering to time. Sign-up sheet can be found down in reception. And if you're here watching this event now, the chances are you're going to be here all throughout finals. So why not come down and have a best seat in the house? Attention, the results for event 102, the boys 200-meter backstroke, have now been posted. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. And again, please check the scratch board to see if you're getting close to finals, as there's quite a bit of yellow showing down here. Thank you all. Look forward to seeing you later.